बेही बिदाई है सैयदना व मौलाना अबू जाफ़र सादिक आली कदर मुफद्दल सैफुद्दीन अतल्लाहु बकाउ शरीफ इला यौमिद्दीन अस्तईनो फी जमील उमूर. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Bin Sahiba, Yakuta Bin Sahib, Zainab bin Najmi from Surat, all the teachers and my dear students. We heartily welcome you in this webinar of multiple intelligence. I would briefly introduce the speaker for today. She is Zainab bin Najmi. She is the director and principal of Seven Pillar School in Surat. As an educationist, her expertise is in English and in value education. And she is a certified Jolly grammar and Jolly phonics certified teacher also. And moreover, she is expert in Ikigai trainer. She is an expert Ikigai trainer, which is a Japanese art of identifying your passion and interest, especially among the students. Right. So we are very pleased to have you been over here, and hopefully you will guide our students regarding the choosing of their career, especially because standard 10th and 12th students are especially here today with us, and also the teachers are there. So we would like to have few words of guidance and planning for their future from you, from your side. Okay, Ben. So over to you, Zainab Ben, and feel comfortable. And you may have queries also in between if you need to have from the students as well as teachers. Okay, Ben.
Thank you so much, Maria Bain. Thank you for this warm welcome. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Shall we start? Shall I share my screen and or we wait for 2 more minutes?
No, ma'am.
You
Please,
start.
go ahead. Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm really, really glad to be here, Maria Bain. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be a part of your family. I have already been to Rajkot, but I'm glad to see you all virtually. Let's start with our presentation. Whatever queries one has, I'll be asking you questions in the middle. We'll give time slots, and then I'll take up your queries. Until that, everyone can keep their mics on mute, right?
Right.
Can we all switch on our camera so the interaction is a little lively? Requesting everyone to switch on their cameras, please. Until that, I share my screen. Okay, Mariabin, can you see my screen? Kindly reply. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Ben, it's visible.
Okay, great. Okay. So what we're going to talk about today is about multiple intelligences. Howard Gardner is a scientist who's found out these multiple intelligences. Earlier, he had found out 7 intelligences. Then later, he added 2 more. Let's talk about this in detail. Okay. When I talk about smart, okay, when I say you are smart or when you call someone smart, what do you think about? What is smart for you? Can someone answer this question, please? What do you think smart is? Can someone answer? Unmute yourself and answer. What do you mean by smart? If I say you are smart, or if you see someone and see that, oh, you're so smart or he's so smart, what do you mean by smart? Can anyone answer? Just unmute yourself and answer. Come on.
Yes,
Natasha.
yeah,
Okay.
it's yeah.
Yes, what
Ma'am,
is your name?
my name is Umaima.
Umaima. Okay, Umaima, please tell me.
According to me, as people or a person who is smart doesn't mean he knows everything. He or she knows everything, but smart means he knows situation. He knows when to stop, when to speak, when to start. So that's according to me a smart person.
Great, Umaima. Very good answer. So smart doesn't mean an overall. He's smart in everything. He may be smart in a particular thing. Meant when to start, when to stop. That is correct. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by when I talk about intelligence? What do you mean by intelligence then?
Ma'am, should I say?
Ma'am, an intelligent person can be classified as like he has both knowledge as well as common sense together, not only bookish
Okay.
knowledge. And,
Okay. Knowledge
it is
in a
very
combination. Okay. Now here, Umaima, I would ask a question here that if a child is drawing something, okay, and if the child is drawing very well, will I call that child, and he's not very good in reading, he cannot read well, but he's drawing very beautifully, in fact, painting very nicely. Will I call that child smart? He cannot read. He cannot even write. Is he smart?
actually that child can be called as a good artist, but he cannot be called as smart because still we don't know about him much. And reading and writing is a basic thing which every person should know, and it is a right to know. And if at all he is not good in his studies, so that is a different thing, but he should definitely know reading and writing. That's
Okay.
how he will
Okay, Umaima.
he
Thank you
can
for
be
the
able to.
answer. How many of you agree to Umaima? How many of you agree what she said that if a child is very good with is doing his arts well, he's doing his drawing well, but cannot read at all, cannot write. According to her, that child wouldn't be called smart. How many of you agree? Raise your hands if you agree to Umaima. Okay, how many of you would call her smart, that child smart? If he's good at arts, how many of you will call that child smart? Can one of the teachers answer here? Yes,
Yeah,
Faida.
ma'am. Can I?
Yes, Faida Ben.
Uh, yeah, definitely that child will be called smart because according to me, whatever I know, since these many years I'm teaching, that
Yeah.
intelligence is a relative concept. Means
Okay.
it is not that each and every child will learn each and everything in a way that we expect them to learn. Right? There are different levels of intelligence for each and every child. So it is a relative concept. Like some children will listen carefully and they will grasp the concept easily. Some children need a visual assistance, and
Agree
according
to all your words. Yes, Faida Ben. Thank you so much. Agree to all your words. So intelligence and being smart is not only being smart in your academics. If I don't know how to read, I don't know how to write, but I'm very good with musics. Okay, I can play musics very well. I can play my keyboard or my drum very well. I'm still smart. If I'm not good at it also, but I'm a good athlete, I can run fast. Okay, I'm very good with my other body kinesthetic approaches, as in maybe I'm a good sports person. I can do long jump very well, or I am very good at tug of war. So I am still smart. If I am a very people person, okay, I don't know how to read, I can't write, I'm a comedian, but I can make people laugh. I can stand on the stage and make people laugh and talk to them and interact. I'm still smart. Okay, so smart means you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be good in math and English and science. Smart could be if you are smart in a particular thing. Okay, so let's understand what is smart. Let's know what are multiple intelligences, and let's know what Howard Gardner has to say about all this. Okay. So, according to Howard Gardner, multiple intelligences, which he is the creator of multiple intelligence, he says that smart, we all are smart in many different ways. And every individual is smart. Every child, every adult is smart in his her own different way. Okay. So then what is multiple intelligences according to him? 9 different ways of being smart. Multiple intelligences are 9 different intelligences of being smart. There are 9 ways of being smart. Okay, so your intelligence means to be smart. Why did he come up with this? Because when we were used to test IQ test, I'm sure all the teachers here must have given their IQ test when we were in our 7th and 10th. And according to our IQ, we made a mindset that, okay, I am that clever, or I'm so clever, or I'm not clever at all. And we were marked according to that. Howard Gardner said that when you take your IQ test, you are only marking the child for his science abilities, his logical thinking abilities, and his English language abilities. What about the other holistic circles of life? What about other parts of learning where the child is and can be smart in? We've never marked about all those things. So if I don't know how to read and write, am I not smart? What about our grandmothers and grandfathers? They've never studied in school. Are they not smart? What about a person the farmer, for example? He cannot read, not write, even not communicate. Is he not smart? Come on, he is growing vegetables. Can you grow even one plant and tell me? So is he not smart? So smartness or being intelligent is not related to books. It's not related to reading and writing only. And it's not at all related to English. Okay, if English is only based in India and we have that mindset that only if I know English, I am smart or I am intelligent. Imagine yesterday I went with my friend and she doesn't know English so well. And she told me to write, can you write and explain me in Gujarati? And I said, I don't know Gujarati. So really, aapko Gujarati nahi aata? And I felt like, I don't know one language, you don't know one language, we are equal. It's okay to not know a language. I'm good in English, she's very good in Gujarati, come on. You get that? So, let's move on. So 9 different ways of being smart. Every student is smart. You cannot mark a student on the basis of his report cards. Report cards which only marks scholastic subjects and avoid non-scholastic subjects by just grading them. So when we talk about multiple intelligences, why do students like all of you, why do you need to know multiple intelligences? Why do you need to study multiple intelligences? And why teachers specifically should know multiple intelligences? To help communicate with others, with everyone. If a child is painting, like I said, and you think that likhta pata nahi aava to cannot write and read, I can, he's so dumb, I don't feel like talking to him. You need to know that every person is intelligent in his or her own way. Every person is smart in his or her own way. Also, you need multiple intelligences just to know yourself, how good I am, who I am, what I like to do. Also, choose your classes, your subjects in your high school and colleges. So when you come to know your multiple intelligences is stronger in what field, you'll be able to choose your subjects. You'll be able to choose your degree courses when you go to college and do majors. And of course, your career. Your career depends on what you are intelligent or smart in. For example, if I'm smart in arts and as in painting and drawing, and if I go into math and logistic and become an engineer, will that help me? I will never be able to make a career out of it. Got that? So these are the 9 multiple intelligences which we are going to study today extensively. When I talk about 9 multiple intelligences, I'm talking about verbal intelligences. So some people are word smart. Okay? When I talk about logical, mathematical, some are logic, math smart. We'll talk in detail about each one of them. When I talk about visual, spatial intelligences, I'm talking about somebody who is art smart. When I talk about interpersonal, somebody who is people smart. Intrapersonal, somebody who's self smart, who's independent and not dependent on others, who can take care of him or herself and emotions by himself. When I talk about bodily kinesthetic, I'm talking about body smart athletics. When I talk about existential smart students or people or adults, they are talking about existence. Why are we here? What is this world made of? What is after world? What was before the world was or the universe was made? Naturalists are nature smart people who love to be in nature, who love to observe small little bugs, who love to grow plants. Music smart, of course, the ones who are musical intelligences are the ones who are music smart, like rhythms and songs. Let's go in detail with all of these. Okay. Now, this is our first intelligence. When I talk about and when I ask you these questions, think about it in yourself and answer them. Are you a good writer? Are you good with crossword puzzles? You can tell good stories. You can debate or even argue. You can explain things very well. You have a very good vocabulary and you enjoy learning new words and even know their origins. If this is you, if you like to do some of these things or at least 4 of these things, then you are linguistic. You are word smart and your intelligence is linguistic verbal intelligence. Okay? Students are word smart when they learn through reading. They love to read, they love to write, they love to discuss things on any topic. They like to communicate effectively. They are good with their vocabulary. They write very well. They can spell easily. They can learn spellings easily. And they think in words. See, there are some people who think in pictures. When we do Hifzul Quran, we know that there are some children who think in words, lines ma, ke a line che, and they remember the words. Some remember the entire picture that a page che, in the 4th line ma, this is what is missing. So there are some who think in pictures. There are some who think in words. There are some who think in English words. There are some who think in Gujarati words or Lisan Dawat word or Hindi word, whatever is your mother tongue. Okay, so if you think in your mother tongue in words, then you are linguistic word smart. This is not English. This is language. Okay, so if you like to read in your language, mother language, if you like to write in your mother language, then also you are linguistic verbal word smart. Okay, people can choose career like writer. They can become a comedian. They can become a poet. And we know famous people like, for example, William Shakespeare. Okay, so this is our first intelligence. Any questions with this? Is this clear to everyone? Yes? How many of you think that you are word smart? Okay, right, Abin. Great to know. All right, let's move on.
Let's ask them the latest poet. So let's see how the readers are of today. Example, Zainabin told us about William Shakespeare. Can anybody say a latest modern poet name whom you are reading just now? Yes?
Okay, Umaima had to say something. Others, I can't see them because the cameras are off. We would request everyone to switch on.
Ma'am, you're asking about any poet or a writer?
Any poet or a writer, sorry.
Robin Sharma.
Okay. And which book did
Robin
you
Sharma
read?
is my favorite too.
Yes, I have read a couple of books of him.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Have you read the 5 a.m. Club of Robin Sharma?
Actually, I read that half, but I have read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, then Who
That
Will
was
Cry
a good book.
Diana.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? Yes? Yes, Tasneem? Umaima Malkani?
Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Fine. Let's move on then to our second intelligence. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, when we move on to our second, before that, I want to, after every session, we have this for the teachers, a little for the teachers, that we know that linguistic intelligence is a person's ability to use language effectively. Okay, both oral and written. There will be some students who will be very good with oral language, with spoken language, with speaking very well. They may not write that well. Some will write very well, but they fear to speak that well. And some will have a combination of both. Okay, what activities we can promote to these students or to everyone to enhance their linguistic intelligences is by storytelling, writing a short poem, giving them debates to speak on, group discussions, gap fills, those exercises when there are fill in the blanks and you have to put the exact words in it or synonyms in it, conducting interviews and word games. These are some of the things which you can do with linguistic intelligences or to enhance linguistic intelligences. Now, the second intelligent, you enjoy solving mysteries. You can solve logic problems. You are good at math. You like to put things in their places. You've always been interested in scientific discoveries. You can be bossy. You like to figure out how things work. You are good with computers. If you are this, then you are logical, mathematical. You are math smart. Your intelligence is logical, mathematical, and you are math smart or logic smart. Students who are logic smart, they can think in numbers, patterns, and algorithms. They think clearly and analytically. Okay, they're very specific. They want numbers and they want to come down to specifics. Okay, they learn by applying logic. They use abstract symbols. They solve logic problems very easily and they are very good in math. Okay. Mathematicians, they can be careers. They can choose mathematicians, scientists. They can become computer programmers. And of course, Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton are one of the famous we know. Question here again. Any questions here? Clear? Okay, so we know now the first two intelligences are already marked by the IQ tests. When you mark your IQ test and when you mark your students for IQ test to the teachers, you come to know their IQ by their linguistic and their math intelligences. That is what IQ has. They mark your logical, they give you those logical questions, or they will give you those comprehensions to solve, and you come to know how intelligent it is. But intelligence is much more than the IQ test. That is what we are going to go through now. For the teachers to know, logical mathematical intelligence, good at using numbers, solving problems, enjoy facing new challenges in life. So if you give them a challenge, they come up with it. What you can do with them is concept mapping, give them flow charts to make all the students. See, we have to enhance all the intelligences of every student. Some of them will be stronger, but the intelligence which is weaker in someone, that you can bring up to some level. I'll come to that point later after we finish all the intelligences. Sequencing events in chronological order, word order activities, pattern games, jigsaw puzzles, and much more. The third, you can put puzzles together. You appreciate art and photography. You prefer geometry over algebra. So again, those are lines and figures. You study with charts and pictures. You can find your way with the map. You make outlines when you write a paper. You doodle or draw. You notice details. If you are this, then your intelligence is special, visual, not spatial. Special, okay, space, visual. You need space, you think in space, you think in pictures, okay? Picture smart. Students who are picture smart, they think in pictures and images. They're very good with their spatial relations. If you give them a white paper, they can imagine picture in it. They can already imagine what colors. Others will waste time thinking that su karvu chhe. They already know what is on this white paper. Have a very good eye for details and colors. They can see solutions to the problems. They learn through visuals and like to draw and create. Now for these, for our younger ones in my school, we know that there are children who are linguistic, okay, who are word smart, and some who are picture smart, because we already test them when they are in standard 1. So it's okay if I give them a project to do. Suppose if we give them a project of your new world, how do you imagine your new world? Now some of them wrote the whole thing, that how they in a bullet form, and some of them we gave them a leverage to draw also. So some of them drew their new world. So it's okay, no? both the ideas are correct. Some came up with words, some came up with picture, but the idea and the message is same. So you can give independence to the children to either write or draw, because you know that some are picture smart and some are word smart. You can become artist, architect, landscape designers. People we know, of course, Picasso. And for teachers, visual intelligence is the ability to imagine and form pictures and transform them into visual ideas and expressions. You can use describing, you can ask them pictures and you can ask them to describe pictures, using visual images for teaching vocabulary, video exercises, multimedia projects using charts and maps, graphic analyzers, and concept maps. So this is visual. Let's move on. If you're good at sports, you talk with your hands. So you use a lot of gestures when you're talking. You're interested in acting. You like to build things. You clown around in the class. We know those ones. You have great balance. You can throw a ball accurately and you can hold it accurately. Then you are bodily kinesthetic. We call them hyperactives at times, but they are body smart. And the students who are body smart are highly coordinated. You give them a job and they're up to it. Take things apart and fix them, learn through hands-on activities, enjoy acting and role-playing, and they enjoy athletics. They can become, of course, an athlete or a crafter or a carpenter or a sculptor or a painter even. And yes, if sports person, we know Sania Mirza, MS Dhoni, Mary Kom. These are some of our Indian champions. Okay. So these two which I spoke about are never on our list. Yes, never on our list, never in our report cards. We never mark the children on being bodily kinesthetic. PTE marks, we give them PTE marks or PT marks, which is only a grade on a sideline, other than non-scholastic subjects, not even calculated in the total. But they are bodily kinesthetic. And they are art smart. So these two combinations, we must put them in our report cards and we must give them that score, because some children are art smart and some are body smart also. Maybe not other things. Let's move on. Any questions here? Okay, let's go on. Okay, our next intelligence coming up. Of course, for the teachers, bodily kinesthetic is using part or your entire body in solving a problem, performing a task. Activities we can do with them is planning, attending a field trip. They will enjoy field trips. Role plays, building models or grammar games, they'll enjoy all of these. The next intelligence, if you'd like to be a drummer, you like to read musical notes, you enjoy a few types of music, you can figure out how to play a tune on an instrument. You've considered writing a madhe or a qasaid in your school competitions. You are good with lehen, pitch and tone. You notice patterns very well and you remember the songs or you remember the music or you remember the lehen. Then you are music smart. Okay, you have that musical intelligence and you are music smart. So the students who are music smart have a good sense of rhythm and melody. They like to sing, hum. They enjoy listening to music. They read and write music. They learn through music and lyrics. They enjoy creating music also. So there are some students, you know, अपने मस्जिद में एक नवू मरसियो पढ़ा से कितना बच्चा मन तरह तो याद थे जाए, you know, लहन भी. And I'm like, suhati lehen, and you know, you keep thinking that what it was. But some they exactly know the lehen. And je of course zakirin sagla je pari sake che fine. They're all music smart. Of course, you can become a composer, a zakirin, or you can even join your school band. We know R.D. Burman is one of the musicians. For teachers, music smart, music intelligence or musical intelligence, sensitivity to music, rhythm and tone. The pitch, tone, lehen. Activities, you can make them, help them play band or they can participate in school band. You can allow them to sing in front of the class, as in sing a rhyme in front of the class, making presentations using sound or music, or even tongue twisters. They're very good with tongue twisters. So I'm sure we would have a school band, and there are so many students who can join the school band, the ones who are music intelligent. Okay, let's move on. So again, this music intelligence is not on our reports. We may add it, so we can have the 7 intelligence as a part of our report card. So where your child stands, or what is his grade in those intelligence, we can add that. Let's move on. You sometimes feel like a mind reader. You hate injustice. You are a good listener. You see through people who aren't being honest. You can see through. You know how others feel. You often lend a shoulder, sympathy or empathy. You find it hard to be mean. You enjoy deep conversation. If you do this, you are an interpersonal, you have an interpersonal intelligence. You are people smart. Okay, so you're very good in communicating and interacting because you can feel their feelings. Okay, empathy, sympathy. You're good with talking. You're good with communication. Students are people smart when they make and maintain friends easily. They make friends like this. They understand and respect others and their emotions. They lead and organize others. They're very good leaders, organizers. They resolve conflicts. They learn by interacting with others. They like to work or be with others. Okay, career, they can become business person, they can become politicians, they can become counselors or even teachers. Of course, Mother Teresa and Winston Churchill, we know them. Now, interpersonal intelligence empathizes with others. Activities, conducting a meeting, group work, practice giving and receiving feedback. So they can take feedbacks from others or give their feedbacks. Surveys and polls, they can go for surveys and talk to people and find out things. And group brainstorming, they're very good with the groups and they can maintain teamwork. Okay. So interpersonal, there are 2 intelligences. One is interpersonal and one is intrapersonal. We just spoke about interpersonal. So we are good with each other. We are good in communicating with each other. We are good when we are talking to each other. And intrapersonal, when I'll come a little later so that we don't get confused. Any questions until here? Did you understand what is interpersonal? Can you relate to this? Can you all relate to this?
Yes,
Yes, to some of the things. And you will feel that me to Abhi chume, I have friends also, but I'm also a very good athlete. I'm also good in logics. I'm good in arts also. So what is your intelligence? We'll find it out, okay, later on. All right, let's move on. Okay. Now, you think a lot. People think you are dreamy or a dreamer. You can analyze dreams. You can self-critic, you can, you have a self-critic nature. You can judge yourself. You can criticize yourself, or you can find out what is going on in your mind. You second guess yourself. You really get into a good book. You can break down complicated ideas. You can judge people very well. So who you are? You are intrapersonal. Okay, self-smart. Somebody who looks into him or herself rather than judging others. You look into yourself and you contemplate and find out that Miss Hukam, I'm sad feel kari rahi chu. I'm dumb tension. There are people who, okay, I got stressed. Now why I got stressed? Okay, Anathi. No, Miss didn't say anything to me. Amma didn't say anything to me. My friends were okay. Then why am I getting sad? Okay, forget, I'm not getting sad anymore. Let me carry on. So you need others, when the ones who are people smart, they need people to, Ammi aasne kaise dikra, suit hai, am not hai, teacher will call you. It's okay, Zainab, it happens sometimes. But when you are intrapersonal, when you are self-smart, you just analyze yourself. You analyze yourself on your own, on the basis of your emotions, and you come out of that emotion very quickly. Okay, you're also very good in analyzing others' emotions because you know how to get deep into emotions. All right, so you know how people's mind work, you know how emotions work. So you are very philosophical. When you get matured, all of us at one point get philosophical. Okay. So students who are self-smart need time to process information. They think about their own thinking. Now, I'm sure teachers must have come across these students whom you are teaching in the class and looking at one thing and like, yes, miss, and then, so they are ones who are introspecting inside, who are thinking, and they are in their own world. They are the ones who are self-smart and intrapersonal. Have strong opinions and beliefs. They are very introspective. They know themselves very well, and they are like quite time alone. They like to be alone. So when you have to study, there are some children who will study together. वो जो घर है अपने साथ, and then they'll have their books together and they'll study. Some will need that space. That I don't want anyone, please, but the आवाज बंद कर, so my exams, and you'll close your door and you will sit alone with your book and study. These ones are the self-smart ones who would like to sit alone and study alone. Okay, if I have to go for shopping, somebody would want a friend, also please shopping, I can't go all alone. The ones who are self-smart would like to go alone to shop. I want to have my me time. Okay, so those are the ones who are self-smart. I explained this a little because it's a little tricky, I feel. You can become a therapist or a researcher, a philosopher, or and of course we know Mohandas Gandhi ji, we know Sigmund, who is a psychologist. Now, interpersonal intelligence is the ability to self-introspect, okay, to self-analyze about our abilities, emotions, feelings, and appreciate ourselves. Writing journal entries or diary writing, we can encourage diary writing for all the students. Activities involving self-reflection, sharing personal experiences, assessing one's work. So you assess your own work, you come to know. Setting and pursuing a goal. So this is intrapersonal. Any questions between interpersonal and intrapersonal? Did you understand intrapersonal? Yes, at times we want that me time. We want to be alone. We want to have our we do appreciate ourselves, and we also criticize ourselves. If you criticize yourself, even then you are a self person, but you need to come out of it on your own. Because if you're dependent on your own, there's nobody who's going to come and say that Dikra, chalo, do your work and win the world. It's always you who has to do that. So you need to pick up a star, put it on your shoulder, pat yourself and say, Zainab, you did a great job. Because nobody's going to come and find the star and put it on your shoulder. Nobody has that time anymore. So you have to have those invisible stars on your shoulders, which only you can feel, appreciate, and be proud of yourself that I did that. Shabash. Okay? Let's move on. All right. Now you like the wilderness. You read about nature. You stop to look at even the tiniest bug. You categorize things. You read about explorers. You like to travel. You collect things. You enjoy studying plants, parts of the plants. You notice characteristics of each thing. If you do that, then you are a naturalist. Okay, your intelligence is naturalist and you are nature smart. Students who are nature smart are aware of their natural surroundings. They care for their nature. Kachro Paro said they wouldn't like it that why people are not picking it up, and they would not like someone throwing it in front of them. They would rather pick it up and put it in their pocket. Discriminate different flora and fauna. The nature are good at sorting and classifying, have keen observational skills. They understand natural phenomena. They care for their gardens, and they also care for their pet animals. They love to have pets. Of course, you can become zoologist or ecologist or geologist if you're nature smart. And of course, we know Charles Darwin, who was a great geologist and an ecologist. For teachers, so naturalistic intelligence are abilities and skills to observe, recognize, analyze the natural world, the nature in the flora and the fauna. Learning vocabulary, exploring outdoors, maybe in English or any language, I would say. Shopping and other field trips. They would love to travel, I said. collecting plants to learn about appropriate vocabularies, field trips, museums. Their favorite place would be museums. Involvement in environment and protection projects. They would love to help the environment. So these are the ones who are naturalistic.
Ma'am, I have one doubt. Why do they discriminate fauna and flora?
Discriminate as in they know, they can tell you that this bird or this frog is a male or a female. They can tell you whether this bird is of what species and this bird is of what family. They can discriminate and tell you in that sense.
I mean, differentiate between.
They can tell you the difference between them. You know, we are sometimes, okay, frog which is male and which is female, and they're like, this is it. Okay, they know the species, they know the chronological order of their life cycle and everything in line. Okay, they care of the plant. They would not allow you to walk on the grass and pluck. They hate somebody plucking flowers. You know, so they are naturalistic. They are nature smart children or people or adults. Okay, they care for the nature. You see the ones who help who have become environmentalists now, you know, who fight for no cutting trees, no throwing garbage on the roads. They are all nature smart people who want to work for nature. Okay, even for the rivers, clean the rivers.
Yes.
Got that? Shall we move?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay, so let's move on then. Okay, now existential intelligence. Existential intelligence are students who are existential smart, okay, who pose questions about life, death, ultimate reality. Questions maybe like, what was the world like before I was born? What life might be like on another planet? Is there really another dimension? Is there the existence of ghosts and spirits? So somebody, you know, there are students who come up with all these things, and they have a lot of stories also to say that, you know, I saw ghosts, or mara ona oye ghost joyo, or if you go on to a serious note, this is maybe when you meet friends, but when you come up to serious note, they would want to know about what is above and out of the world. What was there when there was nothing? There was no universe. What was there, and what is going to happen after I die or my pet dies? These type of questions, if people have, they can be existential intelligences. The ones who think beyond our thoughts are existential students or adults. Okay, so you become philosopher or professor, or you can also become maybe leaders, you know, religious leaders. People include, of course, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates. Yes. Existential intelligences are sensitivity to our existence. The children or the students or the adults who have sensitivity to our existence, asking questions about our life and where we have originated from and where do we want to go. Cultural lessons on different societies, contemplating different religions, which is very important. Contemplating different religions is something I would promote, and different beliefs, but with a reasoning. Then you know what is right, what is wrong. Thought-provoking activities on challenges and consequences of lifestyle choices. So if you give students chance to contemplate, know about other societies, know about other religions, their existential intelligence will have an increase. Okay. Any questions until here? We finished all our 9 intelligences. Maria Bean, what do you have to say until here for all the 9 intelligences? I'm sure.
Yes, it's very useful, Zainab Ben.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
this
sure
was very much needed to identify their interest actually. So if any of them want to share something out of it, suppose આમાંથી કોઈ ઇન્ટેલિજન્સ ને તમે આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ કરી ચૂક્યા હો તમારું, અને તમને પછી એનામાં જ પરસ્યુ કરવું છે આગળ કરિયર, અને રિલેટેડ ટુ that, if you have please, we have a good guide over here. Zainab Ben could answer you for that.
Yes,
Okay?
we can help you out.
તમને શું confusion?
That's right, Maria Bin.
If you are confused, yeah, એ લોકો કન્ફ્યુઝ છે ઇન કેસ કોઈ બી
Yes.
એ લોકોના પર્સનલ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ સાથે તો હમણાં પૂછીને તમે શું છે ડાઉટ્સ ક્લિયર કરી શકો છો.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
will be the best thing now to do, right?
Perfect. If you have any doubts, if you want to ask me anything, just ask me. We are here to talk, right? So you can ask me if you have any doubts, or if you want to know something, let me know, and we can talk about it.
Ma'am,
Yes, Umaima.
yes, currently I'm in my 10th standard and I'm mostly going to take a science stream, biology stream. But
Okay.
I'm confused that I really wanted to study abroad and it was like a dream to me. But still many people say, like some of my relatives and all, that even Indian education is good. But I'm confused that whether to study in India or abroad.
What you want to do, Umaima?
Ma'am, I was first. I'm again confused in that also. I really wanted to do about a medical doctorate, but then I thought, like after exploring different things, that it is also good, like studying in agriculture, like a study of a different things, like you also already said, like an environmentalist or something in a biology stream.
So okay. So that is biology, right? So you are talking about being a nature smart and then being a logic smart who wants to do science. For your first question, Umaima, about going to abroad, never miss an opportunity. Okay, do, and just grab opportunities are something that you must grab. Okay, Joai, if you can, and if you can go, if your parents are okay with it, your parents have to be okay. Okay, Abba Ammi ne raza na wagar nahi, but Abba Ammi okay che, and I'm not about other relatives. But if Abba Ammi is okay and they can afford it, and you can go and stay, and all that things are allowed, you should go. Okay, and then you come back here, and then you do more studies in India. You can work in India, you can work in abroad. See to it that you are taking up challenges. Okay, you are taking up opportunities. Jitni je bhi opportunities, just grab them. The more you can, the more you study, the more you get educated, the more smarter you'll get. Okay, I come here to 2 points of multiple intelligence, very important points. One is, of course, all of us are smart, all of us have multiple intelligences, and all of us have 9 intelligences. All the children, adults, old age people, everyone have 9 intelligences. But according to Howard Gardner, out of these 9 intelligences, there are combination of 2 intelligences that are stronger in us. Okay, out of all the 9, 2 will be very strong in us, a combination of 2, and others will be in order, less in order. Okay, this is the first thing. And the second thing which I wanted to say is that how do you come to know about your intelligences is by intelligence test. Okay, there is a proper intelligence test which we do with students. We take them 1-to-1, and there are about 80 to 100 questions we ask them. On the basis of that, we make their pie chart, their bar graph, we make their report, and we find out their combination 2 strong intelligences. After finding out their combination, we counsel them, and then we give them career options of, okay, these are the 2 intelligences, what are career options available for you. Also, we can help them to know and find out about what colleges you can go and where are the possibilities of going to other colleges. Okay, so the basic thing is that intelligence can be marked. You can test your intelligence and find out which 2 intelligence are you strong in. Okay, Mariabin, for the kids, for the younger ones, what we do for the standard 1, we start testing multiple intelligence from standard 1. For the standard 1, we have pictorial questions.
Yes.
What do you like? Okay, out of these 3, what do you like? If you like this, you give 3 stars. If you like this, you give 2 stars. But it is a scientific, certified and scientific method. For adults, we have questionnaires. Quick questions. Go on. Okay, you like it mostly, rarely, often, like that. And according to that, we make their multiple intelligence report. So this is what I just wanted to say to Umaima also. Umaima, you need to first find out what you want to do, then how you want to do it. Okay, so first find out. Yes, Mariabin.
Yes, also I would like to say that whatever we decide આપણે રજા બી લઈએ આકા મોલામાંથી અને પછી બી પરસ્યુ કરીએ તો બી ઘણા કન્ફ્યુઝન્સ દૂર થઈ જાય.
That is a perfect thing, Mariabin. Of course, if you are confused, first decide what you want to do. પછી મોલાનામાંથી રજા લો કે મેં આ કરી રહી છું, I want to go here. અકાઉન્ટ રજા ફરમાવે and then અગર નહીં તો પછી જે બી હકમત છે એમાં. Okay? So, of course, રજા seats.
આપણે ના કરીએ તો બેટર છે બીકોઝ સેફ સાઇડ થઈ જાય છે અને પછી એકદમ જ એમ સિક્યોર વેમાં આગળ જઈ શકીએ છીએ.
Perfect. Yes, Mariabin. Definitely. રજા તો આપણે હર ચીઝમાં જ લેવાની જ છે. First decide, take raza and then pursue your life, whatever you want to do. Okay, but not without raza, of course. All right. So,
anybody else just want to ask about their career, future career guidance? Zainabben is here. અને જેને બી જોતું હશે આપને ઝેનબબેનનું બી કરશું તમને ફોરવર્ડ. You can just directly contact her for taking up their multiple tests also.
Yes.
Right? Zainabben?
Mariabin, if you can give my contact number, anyone who would want to, I'll help them out with their multiple intelligence test. Find out. It's a half an hour to 1 hour session where we take their questions. It can happen on Zoom, of course, or of course any media.
Yeah.
We take their test. We ask them and we do their counseling. Then we ask them their interest. And we ask them other questions about themselves and how they feel and what they want to do about their family a little bit, and then we counsel them on that, and then we share the report with them, the multiple intelligence report. જેમાં આખી detail હોય છે that which two are dominant, which are the lesser. See, when the ones which are less dominant or recessive, I may not call him weak, the weaker ones, you can always bring them to a level. So when we find out in very early age that I know that this student or this child is not people smart, so he has stage fear, he is not able to come up on the stage. We come to know, right? So then we give him more opportunities to come on the stage, so that his ability to be people smart comes a little up to that level. It may not be the dominant ones, but yes, it will come up to a certain level.
And of course આના પર સેમ થાય છે કે પોટેન્શિયલ તો સગલા પાસે છે જ, થોડું નહીં તો જ્યાદા નહીં તો થોડું કમ છે. અને પોટેન્શિયલને આપણે ડેવલપ કરી એને ટ્રેનિંગ આપી અને આપણે કોઈ ગોલને રીચ કરી શકીએ છીએ. સો ઇટ ઇઝ નથિંગ ઇઝ ઇમ્પોસિબલ ઓલ્સો એન્ડ નથિંગ ઇઝ સો ઇઝી ઓલ્સો. ઓકે,
yes. So and we are all smart in one or the other field. It's not about math, science, and English. It's not at all about those very things. It's about so many more things. So if we give them opportunities to do these things, they'll be able to explore themselves and be smart in what they are smart in, actually.
Yeah, actually. And Zainabben, I had one more question from a student that હમણાં એમ છે કે સાયકોથેરાપિસ્ટ છે, સાયકોએનાલિસ્ટ છે, બરાબર? તો એ આખું કરિયર ઘણું નવું ખુલી રહ્યું છે. તો જેમ તમે કીધું ને કે ઇન્ટ્રાપર્સનલ સ્માર્ટ, દેટ ઇઝ વન ઓફ ધ થિંગ્સ, સેલ્ફ સ્માર્ટ. તો એમાં બી આપણે જોયું કે એ લોકો ઇન ધીસ ફિલ્ડ્સ દે કુડ ગો ahead with. They can become researchers or a psychotherapist or something like that. Okay, counselors and everything. So do you find any good institutes in India to go ahead with these things? Because હમણાં શું છે કે અબ્રોડમાં તો આ ઘણું બધું જંબાઈ જ ગયું છે આ કરિયર. હમણાં આપના વાસ્તે નવું છે. તો જનરલી BA કરીને આપણે ઇંગ્લિશમાં જાવું, હિસ્ટ્રીમાં જાવું, જોગ્રાફીમાં જાવું યા ટીચિંગ ફિલ્ડમાં જાવું તો બેટર છે કે this career is coming up next. કે સાયકોથેરાપિસ્ટની જરૂર પડવાની જ છે, સ્ટ્રેસ એટલો લેવલ હાઈ છે ને you know this thing because you are in the field. I am asking you. So which institutes do you prefer them to go in India for this thing? And પછી એ લોકોની શું opportunities હોય છે? તમે પ્લીઝ જરા એ બી ગાઈડ કરશો?
So now the psychotherapist, Mariabin, or psychologist or psychiatrist, what we talk about, you have to go in arts and psychology karvanu hoy chhe, right? You have to do your major in BA, Bachelor of Arts, with psychology. After that, then there is a 3 years course in being a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Okay, and એના સાથે internship કરવાની હોય છે with a psychologist. What is which institute you would go to? There are many in Bombay. I'll just find out and figure out the names of those institutes, and I'll message you. You can share it with your school students. career with psychologist is હમણા તો હવે schools માં compulsory થઈ ગયું છે મારિયાબેન to have a psychologist or a psychotherapist in every school, especially in international schools in India. International schools in India, it's અને હવે તો CBSE બોર્ડમાં બી એમ આવી ગયું છે ને that you have to have a even in all the institutions, business hubs ma, they need a you have to go and talk to a psychologist or a psychotherapist. So it's like you said, you know, it's because the stress is upcoming, the psychotherapists are also upcoming, the job is upcoming, so you can get into any schools, any international institutions as a psychologist, or any business hub as a psychologist, or you can have your own firm where people can come to you and you can analyze them as a personal institution. You can also train other students under you.
Of course. So we are into this field, so I thought that अपने केवू जोवे आबी અને એમ પણ છે કે ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ્સ અને જે રિલાયેબલ છે, જેનું ગુડવિલ બી ફાઇન છે અને જે અફોર્ડેબલ બી છે, તો એવા થોડા ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ્સને આપને આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ કરી અને પછી એનું જે પ્લેસમેન્ટ છે એ કયા લેવલ પર છે, એના રિવ્યૂ શું છે, એ બી થોડું આપણે ગ્રુપમાં શેર કરશું. બરાબર ઝેનબબેન?
Yes, I'll share કેવા institutionsમાં બી થઈ શકે છે, કેવી જગાઓ પર થઈ શકે છે. Even in Jamia, I'm a psychologist, I'm a counselor in Jamia, so they need psychologists or counselors everywhere. You know, even in the hospitals, you need counselors, Mariaben. Where not? So of
Yes,
course,
of course.
if you feel that you are interpersonal and you have the feel for others, then you can go and pursue this too.
Yes. About any other field, if any of the students want to ask, please.
Yes, please ask me. I'm enjoying talking to all of you. They can also message me later on, Mariaben, sometimes, or through you, or however, if they want to ask any question, they have any query, they want to find out their multiple intelligences, or however, just like that, you can always message me, okay? And I'll definitely reply to you.
It was wonderful having you over here, Ben, and thank you once again. Any teachers, do you have any questions regarding any of the things? You may just ask Zainabin. Anybody?
No, there are no questions as such, but I would really like to thank Zainabin for a wonderful and enriching session. It was really nice and well explained, and I guess that is why there are no more queries with this regard. But I guess, you know, the word is out that all we need to do is not to indulge in
we missed your sound.
Yeah, we lost you, Fatima Ben.
it that we are good at.
Yeah. Fatima Ben, we just didn't get your voice for a while. Can you just repeat what you say?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
What I was telling was that, you know, these days adolescents and teenagers are very sensitive to failure. And I guess this multiple intelligence theory is a proof that we all are good at something.
Of course.
So, you know, with little impediments or little barriers or little obstacles, we shouldn't put ourselves down. And we must keep exploring. As Aka Mola always emphasizes, that contemplation is a clear mirror. So multiple intelligence theory is all about self-discovery. Keep exploring, keep finding out what we are good at. And I guess the points were so well explained by Zainabin that, you know, there were so many areas that often we miss out. And I feel at the end of the session, I feel proud of myself. I'm already feeling good. That, oh, there are so
We
many
all have
things
to be
here.
proud of ourselves and pick up a star and put it on our shoulders.
Exactly. So
Yes.
I think whosoever are present in today's session, you know, they can take away this thing with themselves, that there are a lot of things. If we go wrong with plan A, then there is always a plan B. And I guess there are 9 plans to look to.
So
So
true.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zainabin.
Thank you so much, Fateh. I've been so very well put up that there are 9 different plans, not even A, B, but there are so many more. And you can choose any plan. You can go with any plan. You can have multiple plans also. I'm a principal, I'm a director of a school, but I'm also a traveler. Okay, I take students to different parts of the world. So if I wouldn't have been a school principal, I would definitely have been a full-time traveler. But I'm both. So you can have multiple things to do, no? Because we have multiple intelligences. Why not? But focus on one, do one, achieve one, and then move to the plan B or the second one. But do it. Okay, grab every opportunity, grab every challenge, Prove yourself to yourself, okay? You have to compete with yourself. How better? Am I better than my yesterday? That is a question you need to ask yourself every day. Am I better than my yesterday? All the best to all of you, and I had a real great time. Thank you so much, Maria Ben, for having me here. I really enjoyed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Zainab Ben, that you just took out the precious time of yours and just gave this to our kids and our teachers over here. So it was very wonderful having you. And vote of thanks, Fatima Ben Moyadi has already delivered. Okay, so
Thank you, Maria Ben. Thank you, Maria Ben. And thank you all of you. I really enjoyed and hope to see you all very soon, maybe physically.
Inshallah, એમ જ કરીએ. અને
Thank you all.
we should have many more webinars, such webinars with
Definitely.
people like you, right? And
Yes.
thank you, students, my dear students. સગલા દીકરીઓ દીકરાઓ તમે લોકો હાજર થયા અને
Oh,
તમે
there
લોકો-
were Dikrao also. I didn't see any Dikrao here. I miss.
I just read the names.
I wish they could have spoken to me.
Of course, of course.
Anyways, whenever they want to, whenever all of you want to, they
Yeah.
all-
So everybody who was active and actively participated, Umema, especially you, actively participated today in today's webinar. Others also kept on giving some or the other remarks on chat. Thank you so much. And Sagla parents ne, teachers ne, staff ne, especially Zainab Ben ne. Okay, thanks a lot, Ben. And we will end this session.
Thank you, Maria Ben, and thank you, everyone. See you very soon. Ma salama.
Thank you, ma'am, for
Thank
this
you.
encouragement.
અને દરાઝ કરે કયામતના દિન લગ. આમીન.
Ameen. Ameen. Shukran, Maria Ben.
Okay, so shall we end? Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Ben.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you, everybody. Fi amanillah.